Great. Yeah, so I'm not going to keep you all long tonight. Just wanted to check in. Wanted to shout out everyone for doing an amazing job. I gotta give it up to Mo. He been going in. That story he told us today about being on the highway, that was funny. I was cracking up. I was like, this guy means he's about business. Sarah, that was an amazing three-way call we had tonight. Great job with Winston, and we gotta drip on him and follow up with him tomorrow. To really close the deal. I just actually talked to someone I was dripping on, and he said he's getting started tonight. So I sent him the link. So let's see. You know how these people go. They get the link and then they go ghost, right? So I'll see if
Yep, that's
he's going
exactly
to
what they
actually
do.
get started tonight. But he loves what he sees, and he wants to get involved. So hopefully we have a new teammate by in the morning. But, tonight, you guys who are on it, I know your results. I know both of you guys have talked to two people per day. Um, so let's just go through it really quickly. Sarah, I'll start with you. Ladies first. From when did we kick off? On Monday or Tuesday? When was the first?
I think that was Tuesday.
Okay, I think it was Tuesday too, because Monday I think I did absolutely nothing. Right. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that's 4 days. Well, Tuesday we don't count. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For the last 3 days, how many people total do you think you've shared with? Well, you shouldn't be
uh,
thinking. You should know because you should be tracking.
for the first 2 days, I shared with three different people. It was more than three, but I count three as the people who actually look at the information, not just reaching out. And then today, four.
Okay, so wow, think about it. Think about that. And let me just show you all the power of consistency and accountability, right? So in 3 days, you at least shared the information on the lower end, 10 people in 3 days. 10 people you expose your business to in 3 days. Sometimes when we don't have these accountability calls, you may talk to 10 people in 3 weeks. Think about it, because you may
Yeah.
do one today, one in 2 days, maybe one 3 days later, so accountability. No,
The calls definitely help because, like, right when I wake up, I'm like, all right, I know I need to talk to
two
some
people a
people
day.
today. Like, I need
Exactly.
to get it because I got to report my numbers.
Exactly. And that's why accountability is key, because if there was no call, if I wasn't going to ask, then it don't really matter. Because if you don't do it today, it's like, I didn't do it today. But we got to start holding ourselves accountable, But of course, like I said, this is to form the habit of being accountable. So after the next 30 days, when September rolls around, you wake up, are you really ingrain that habit in your head of two people a day? How quickly can I talk to two people? And for me, what I do is I do the same thing. I'm thinking the same way. I'm like, okay, I got to talk to two people a day. How fast can I knock it out? Because guess what? If I talk to two people by 11 a.m., I'm really done. Everything else is extra, you know? So Mo, what about you? I know you've been in beast mode. Like you said, you've been talking to the whole of VA. About how
Right.
many people you think you shared with in the past 3 days, since Wednesday to now?
I mean, it's no count. Like I done lost count. But I mean, for the specific ones I really was shooting at that I felt was like go-getters that
Uh-huh.
would really, what I'm saying, put in the effort. Uh, for real, I'm gonna say about 15 people. You know what I'm saying? And as far as how many watched the link, I know, like I said the other day, yesterday, a matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? I had like 6 people that watched the link, and I was trying to get the group call, but like you said, they all got ghosts on me, and
Right.
and they called me, you know what I'm saying? Like I hit you that morning, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I got one, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and I'm like, yo, is y'all lost, yo, So, I mean, it's I stopped counting, but you know what I'm saying, the 2, that's nonsense, you know what I'm saying? It's already in my mind to go at 2, you know what I'm saying? It's like right now I'm on my balcony, I'm looking at see who's walking outside and all that, ready to go chase them down, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
but you know what
Yep.
I'm saying, not to be so thirsty about it, but you know what I'm
No,
saying,
but you
but I
hungry.
am thirsty about it though, you know what I'm saying? So, you
No,
know,
definitely. See, that's a great job. You see that between the two of you guys. Let's just think about it. Between both of you guys, that's 25 people. And let's say me. I'm gonna tell y'all from Tuesday to now, I probably talked to about 3 on Wednesday, like 4 yesterday. I probably talked to about 9 or 10 people as well.
Like I can get my list.
So between the 3 of us, we talked to about 35 people. Us 3 shared this information with. That's powerful in 3 days. In
Indeed.
3 days, 35 new people now know what income shifting is. Even if they don't join your business, because remember, the goal is, or the focus isn't on the outcome. The focus isn't on the yes or no. The focus is on sharing. And that's pretty good numbers. 3 people was able to share with 35 new people what we do. And that's only because we have been consistent and we set goals and we make sure every day we hit it. You see how important accountability is and actually setting the goal? Because you can shoot that, I want to get people in my business. But if you don't say, okay, 2 people per day is who I'm going to talk to, you'll be surprised that 30 days will go by and you realize you only talk to 5 people all month. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important. So I just want to shout you guys out for getting it done, because you could have made excuses, but you didn't. You could make excuses to not be on this webinar right now, but you didn't. And y'all know what the motto is. You can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. See, people want to make money, but they want to make excuses as well. It don't work that way. People are great at making excuses, but suck at making money. So we are the people who want different. We want to be good at making money and suck at making excuses. All right. So it's like, we got to be the opposite of what's normal, the opposite of what's average, So let me just share with you guys this little sheet real quick. If I haven't dropped it in the group yet, I will, but let me let y'all see this real quick. This is, I know Sarah is familiar with it. Mo, this will be your first time seeing it, because you're the newest person on the block, right?
Indeed, yeah.
But here it is. This is a prospect tracking sheet that I use. This is what I've been using the last 2 years to track my business, okay? So what you can do is print out as many of these sheets as you need and keep them somewhere near you. Always keep one folded up in your pocket or something. And what you want to do is you want to be able to track who you talk to. Because you see how, we're talking now, you lost count of some people because, you're doing it on the fly. And that's cool. Don't slow up. But you do want to track. And you want to track where those people are in the process.
Right.
Piquing interest, sharing, and getting them on a 3-way call. Because that's the system. All right. So this sheet, you basically put a person's, name. So I'm going to just use it. Y'all just excuse my bad handwriting. So I'm going to just put Mo, right? This is how you'll use the sheet. You'll put Mo. His phone number is 123 411. Just because that's the easiest thing to write.
We got you.
Right? You put their phone number. Then this box here is where did you meet them? So it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be someone at the grocery store, it could be a coworker, but you just want to put where that person from or where did this lead come from. Okay, so let's just say I met Mo on Facebook. True. Then the PS3 is peak interest, because this is the steps, right? You got to peak interest first, then you got to share information, then you want to get them on a 3-way for a close. So here's what's happening with most of you. Mo, I'm just using you because no doubt. You is one. So and Sarah is a student. That's what I love about Sarah. Sarah's been in the business almost a year now, but she is a student and she don't mind hearing the same thing over and over because repetition is the mother of all learning, So in the system, let's just say you pique someone's interest. You're going to just put an X in this box. If you share the link, you put an X in this box. Now, when you say share the link, you just got to do your job. You don't know yet if they've watched it, but your job was to ask them, listen, if I share some info with you, would you take a look at it? And they said yes. And you sent it. So your job is done. You shared it. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's happening with you, Mo, is a lot of people are getting to this step, but you're not getting the last step.
Right.
So, and what you're going to realize, and over time, a lot of people try to skip the 3-way step because they just try to close them themselves. You're going to realize that don't work. Right? You got to almost get someone you got to get them on the phone with a third party. Get them on the phone with me, because here's why. Especially if it's people Mo, they don't know you. They know what you about. So now all of a sudden you about, finance and tax and business. They're like, what Mo up to? You know what I'm saying? Right. They love you, but as far as this business, they respect ain't really on 100 for you yet. Right. They respect you for what they know you for, but right now they still unsure about this business. So the reason the 3-way is so important is because guess what? They know you, but you simply tell them, listen, listen, I connected with this girl, man, Sophie, out of Miami. She been schooling me. I want to let you talk to her so she can start to tell you the stuff she's been telling me. Now, they don't know me. So they only know based on how you edified me just now and say, listen, I know what I'm talking about. They're going to listen to the information from me totally different than from you. It's sad, right, but that's just the way human nature is. You know, you ever been to like a car dealership, like to buy a car? Guess what? If you go buy a car and the car salesman walk you around the lot, you know, they show you the cars. They even take you on the test drive. But when it's time to close the deal and tell you how much it costs, don't they always call a manager?
Right.
They always say, yo, let me get my manager in to see, you know, what he can work out for you. They know what the car costs, but they know that psychology of getting that third party in to say he can do something more for you. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It's the same psychology here. The only difference is I'm not your manager. I'm more of a, you know, your partner. You're maybe someone who's putting you on to game or a mentor. That's why in my video, I said the 3 things that's most important in this business: piquing interest, inviting, and edifying me. You know, or whoever. All the time, it may not be me, Mo. It may be Sarah, maybe someone else on the team. But for right now, it's going to be me. So you just got to learn how you're going to, a 5-second, 10-second little way you're going to describe me to whoever you're talking to make them want to talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So an example, like just from what I know off of you for right now, I'll say, let's just say I was edifying you to someone. I'll be like, listen, man, I'm connected with this amazing guy, you know, entrepreneur out of Virginia. Listen, this guy is incredible. He's a go-getter. He's hungry, and he's positioned himself to make 6 figures in the next 6 months. You know, he's somebody who can help you to get on track to your goals. What I can do is get him on the phone, talk to you really quickly, and he can kind of show you the game plan we got. A person hear that, they're going to be like, yo, if he can position himself to make 6 figures, let me hear what you got to say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not lying. You may not be making 6 figures, but you position yourself to.
Right.
You see how serious little words can be?
Indeed.
You see what I'm saying? So the 3-way call is key, but don't worry about people flaking on you. It's all right. You go through the numbers. Some of these people will start to say, okay, yeah, I do want to know more, or I do have some questions. Then that's when you get them on the phone. Make sense?
Yeah, it do.
All right, cool. So once you get them on a 3-way call, you put the X. But this sheet will at least tell you when you're going back, you know, over the course of the week, and you're looking and you're seeing, okay, all of these people looked at the video, but I ain't getting none on a call. You know, when you hit them up for the follow-up, you're really just trying to get them on a 3-way. See, a lot of times we follow up with people, and Sarah, this is kind of to what you asked about following up. A lot of times we try to follow up with people to say, hey, you ready to sign up yet? Guess what? They gonna run from you. You just want to get them on the phone and follow up to get them to more information. So if they saw whatincomeshifting.com and they didn't sign up, guess what? They probably need more information to make a decision. So when you follow up with them, you're like, listen, I know you saw some information, you liked it, you know, you told me it made sense to you. What I want to do is invite you to this exclusive call I got access to on Thursday night. What you doing at 9:00? You know, so you're just following up to get them to the next presentation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it do.
Cool. That makes sense, Sarah?
Yes.
All right, cool. So back to this prospect sheet. So this is to tell you where you are in the system. The callbacks basically is where you put when you're supposed to call, because when you share information with someone, you're supposed to schedule when you're going to follow up. So if you share them the link, share someone the website, you say, listen, check this website out. You know, I'll give you when do you think you'll be able to watch it? They'll say, okay, I'll watch it tonight when I get off work. Okay, what time you get off work? I get off at 6. All right, so if I give you a call tonight around 9, you should have been able to watch it, right? They'll say, yeah. All right, cool. I'm going to call you tonight at 9. So in this button, in this section, you'll put that you're supposed to call them Friday, 9 p.m. Because remember, if y'all doing the numbers y'all doing, that y'all done in the past 3 days, you're going to forget some stuff. Right? You're going to forget who you're supposed to be calling, what day, what time. So you've got to write it down, okay? Gotcha. The note section is for you to write notes on what the person said they got from the information, you know, what their situation is. You may know that they're, you know, working, need more money, or maybe looking to buy a new car in the next 6 months and they want money for that, whatever, you know, but this is just this is going to be like your file for your prospects. Because for me, guys, I've got sheets and sheets and sheets of these.
Indeed.
And right now, how peeking new people, but I'm going back through my old sheets and calling people up like, hey, I know we talked about 2 months ago, man, and I know you weren't really ready at that time to start your business. How's everything going for you now? And I can kind of use what I wrote in the notes to use as ammunition for them. I can say, I know you told me you were interested in starting your own landscaping business about a month ago, and I was just wondering, like, have you moved any closer to that? And guess what? I've actually just met with a landscaper, or I just helped someone get started, and I'd love to connect you to. Now you kind of making it attractive for the person based on their needs, not your needs. Make sense?
Yeah, it do.
Cool. That makes sense, Sarah? She gone.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still.
Cool. Hang on 1 second. Let me get my laptop charger because it's going down. Hold on. And then I just want to run through a little bit of role play with you guys, and then we're going to get off here.
Yeah, because I'm going to soak that up.
Hold on. Wait. Okay, cool. All right. Does that help at all?
Oh yeah, to a T.
All right, cool.
It helps a lot.
All right, great. So first thing I want to go through really quick with you guys, and I'm gonna just use y'all. Like I was saying, sometimes role playing or just doing it or thinking about it, but like out loud, helps you to really realize, okay, I really don't know what to say, or it just gets you sharper. This is iron sharpen iron. The purpose of this is for you to get better. You know what I'm saying? So it's no right, it's no wrong. All it is to say how we can improve it so that when you go out here and start sharing with other people, you can really be effective. Okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to give you guys a scenario. And Sarah, I'm going to pick on you first just because you most new. So he going to get to go second because he's new, right? But I'm going to give you a scenario. You guys are going to be piquing my interest, and I'm going to give you some things about me, and you got to pique my interest based on what I tell you. Okay? So Sarah, for you, I hate my job. Okay? I don't make enough money, and I'm looking to make more money. All right? That's my pain point. That's what my situation is. So now just pretend, give me a call. I'm someone I'm not a total stranger, but I'm a friend who hates their job, hates my job, and I want to make more money because I'm always complaining about it. Okay? So we're going to pretend you're going to give me a call to basically pique my interest. All right?
Okay.
All right, cool. So go for it.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Sophie, what's up?
I'm good, man. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm great. See, I start freaking out when it comes to this. But anyways, I would pique your interest by saying, hey, guess what I found out? And then you'd say what?
Right. Okay, so say it. Say, guess what I found out. We're going to play along. Go ahead.
Okay. Guess what I found out?
What?
I found out a way for you to make more money at your job and eventually leave your job. Would you be open to learning more information?
Hell yeah. Like, what you got up?
What did you say, Sophie?
I said, hell yeah, I'll be interested in that. What's up? Talk to me. What you got?
I'll tell you what. You have a few minutes right now to watch a short video?
Yeah, I got a couple minutes now.
Okay, awesome. All right, I'm going to send you a link. Take a look at the video and hit me back as soon as you're done.
All right, bet.
Cool?
All right, no problem. Send it right now. See, cool. Great job. One thing I would say about it, and I know you only said it like that because we going through a role play, but practice makes permanent. We were taught practice makes perfect, but Mr. McDaniel said practice makes permanent. It don't necessarily mean perfect, because you could practice wrong and then get perfectly bad. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Perfect practice makes perfect. You feel me? So for you, only thing I would say is that when you say, guess what I found out, you got to sound excited, because you got to almost sound like you got some hot gossip to tell me or something, because if you just sound like, guess what I found out, you'd be like, what? But if you say, listen, Sophie, guess what I found out? They'll be like, I'll be like, what? Because you almost trying to figure out like what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. And like I said, I know that's only, but you want to practice it, because if you practice it now that with excitement, guess what? When you get on the phone with a prospect, it's gonna be like second nature for you to be excited. And Sarah, you do three-ways with me all the time. A lot of times, what really grasps our prospects' attention when they're on a three-way with me is my passion. Like, I'm passionate.
Definitely.
So when it's contagious. My enthusiasm is contagious. So you want to make sure, at least be aware of that, you want to be excited because you're trying to make this person excited because you're excited. You feel me?
Yes.
Awesome. Mo, that makes sense?
All day.
All right, cool. So Mo, I'm going to use you now. So let's say, let me think of a scenario. Okay, I just graduated from college, right? But I got like a ton of student loans. Like, I'm stressed out about how much debt I'm in. Okay? So how, like, if you knew that about me, how would you pique my interest?
All right, let's see. Hey, Sophie. Okay, here we go. Ring, ring, ring.
What's up?
Right.
Hello?
Sophia, what's good?
I'm good, man. How you been? I ain't talked to you for a minute.
Yeah. So how that school thing going for you?
Man, I finally finished, but boy, these loans killing me. Now I got to start paying Sally Mae.
Oh, you talking about the student loans, right?
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, guess what I found out?
What?
Oh gosh.
But you good. At least you got that. That's good. Guess what I found out? You know, that's the first thing you always want to say. Guess what I found out? Right? Because
I would definitely shoot in. I ain't trying to mess the role play up, but you know what I'm saying. I'm telling you, I go in, but sometimes I catch and they'll catch me when I you know what I'm saying, get the stuttering and
right.
You know. But you know what I'm saying. But I open up because I mean I guess it gets easier. My bad for even changing the script, right? But
you good.
Once I get into it, once I get in tune with it, you know what I'm saying. They, you know what I'm saying. Then they catch me when it started getting easier to me. And more clear.
And it's gonna get easier with practice. Like, that's why this role play is good, because if you do 5 of these on a role play, when you get on the phone now, it's gonna flow because you're gonna remember what you did in the role play. You know what I'm saying?
My daughter was on my leg, my bad.
If you say, guess what I found out, and I say, you know what? You can say something like, I found out that there's a way that the government pays off your student loans. Did you know that? They'll be like, no, word? Listen, I connected with some people. I can send you some info when you got some time to look at it. You feel me? You see how that flowed into that?
Indeed.
You know, and you can kind of use the same flow, just stick in the problem. Just change the problem based on who you're talking to. Make sense?
It do.
Okay, so we're going to go back on the same scenario. So just try to flow from the guess what I found out into, you know, because after you say guess what I found out, the goal is to say you found a way to solve whatever problem they got.
Yeah, but with the school thing, how do it work with the school again? I mean,
okay, so basically, you know, you just really saying that you found a way that you could kind of you can help them to pay off their student loan debts a lot faster, and they're gonna be like, what? How? And really, with income shifting, we show you how to eliminate debt. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
when you pique their interest, you ain't got to get them the full story. You just want to say enough for them to say, okay, let me look at the info.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, so do it still work? Let's say they not employed and all that, you know what I'm saying? But they, you know, going to school, living off mom. And well, I guess I can use their parents too, right?
Right. They could put their parents on, or if they still living at home, if they like full-time students, they may just be interested in making money, because most students broke as a joke, right? Most students ain't working. So you can say to them, like, listen, I know you in school. I know you wasn't working enough, that you was focusing on studying. But listen, if I can show you a way for you to make some money while you in school without it interfering with your schoolwork, would you be interested?
True. Because I will fish around, you know what I'm saying? Because I fish around, like the conversation, you know what I'm saying? And I will find it, you know what I'm saying? The peak, okay, here we go. Look, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? But the school with no employment, because I did run it to a few that wasn't employed. Okay. And you know, like I said, and I was so hooked on the W4. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, no, that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Well, I know, you know what I'm saying, you can earn extra money from your employment, you know what I'm saying? I'm so stuck on that part. Now I gotta switch it up.
But that is a part of your process, you know what I'm saying? And that's cool. But what you can do is, you know, like you say, if you focus it on the W4, Remember this. This is the key, guys.
Let me write this down.
Just ask questions. Ask questions to think about it like you almost like a private detective, right?
Indeed.
You like an investigator. You ask questions to get the intel, to get the info. Once you get the info, while they talking to you, process it in your mind. Like, okay, how can I flip this back to show them that I can show them how to fix that? So
I totally agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I was focused like more on the W-4, but as I like started listening more to people's problems or some of the goals that they might want to achieve, I kind of use that.
Instead.
Like Winston, for example, with the whole landscaping thing, like I plan to use that, when I follow up with him or whatever, in the future.
Exactly.
But yeah, just actively listening to them. And usually people will tell you everything you need to know. Like I was taking notes today and it helped me out a lot. So.
Awesome. And that's what you do. You ask a lot of questions because guess what? Sometimes, and it's a mindset shift, right? A lot of times we don't like to ask people questions because we feel like, they're going to feel like you interrogating them, right? But if you ask it with the right posture, like where they know you ain't mean it from a bad place, most people don't mind talking because most times no one in their life interested in nothing that's going on with them. So they kind of happy to get a chance to vent.
Vent, there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Most of them be ready to vent anyway, you know what I'm saying? So I'm all ears, you know what I'm saying? So then I become their best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And as they're talking about themselves, remember, all you want to keep asking them stuff about them. People love to talk about themselves because we self-centered individuals as humans. We just are. So people love to talk about themselves. So you just keep asking them about themselves. And like Sarah said, actively listening. You hearing them and you gathering intel, And once they're done talking, you can say, listen, because they're going to tell you you want to find out from someone in the conversation, what you got going on, what's your goals. But you don't want to say it in a way like, yo, what's your goals, man? They'd be like, who the hell are you? Right? But you can ask the same thing in a different way. Like Mo, for you, like with your coworkers, right? Like if you talk to one of your homeboys on the damn job site, you'd be like, bro, what your goals is? He'd be like, what the hell wrong with you? But if you said to him, listen, man, I know you ain't into working in this hot sun forever. Like, if you didn't have to be on this job, what would you be doing? Someone would be like, man, I would be rapping. I would be doing music. Then you go, ding, 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 ding. This dude want to do music. You see what I'm saying? So you say to him, you flip it back on him after the conversation. Be like, listen, if I can show you a way, to start taking some money from this job and start to invest it into your music, without having to go in your pocket, would you want to know more about it? Most people would say, hell yeah. You see? So you just got to figure out how to take the information and flip it. And it's going to take practice. That's why, we got to do stuff like this. Like, we'll jump off. Because what better way to do than to mess up and screw up than to do it here, where it's safe, where
Indeed.
I'm not a real prospect, but I'm just sharpening your skills. So when you go talk to the prospects tomorrow, it's like a piece of cake. And then it becomes fun because now you're like, yo, let me see if I can get this guy. If I can switch this up on this guy, because your goal is just to make them say, yeah, I would want to know more about it. Once they say they would want to know more, then you say, listen, I'm going to send you a link, check it out. Here's my phone number. Let me get yours. When would be a good time for me to call you so we can talk more about it? You see what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Because really and truthfully, guys, when you pique an interest in someone, the conversation, of course, the initial part of asking questions, it depends on the vibe and what you're doing and where you're at. But the whole conversation really don't have to be more than 5 minutes, like 2 minutes, really. Especially if it's a friend and you already know that situation. Like, say you got a sister and she got a baby daddy, who don't help her, and she got a kid that she's struggling to make ends meet, right? You just call your sister like, yo, sis, what's up? How you doing, man? Listen, I know you got a lot going on with the kids and daycare and all of that, but if I can show you a way to get your daycare paid every single month without you having to go in your pocket, would you want to know more?
That. Right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I gotta write it down.
No, you can.
All this.
And I'm recording this, so you can catch the replay. But you see how that works? Like, you got to show people their pain, man. See, so often, and this is something I learned late in my game, because I used to be trying to tell people how awesome my opportunity was, like why they need this, but listen, remember this. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's like golden. No one cares about how much taxes we can help them save, how much money we can help them make, how much millionaires we connected with. They don't care about that until they think you genuinely care about them. And that's how you open a person up. You got to make them really feel like you genuinely care. And that's why I'm able to do really well in this business, because I really genuinely care about people. And it shows. It's contagious. Like, that's why I like to have face-to-face meetings, because when I'm sitting at a Starbucks with someone, they ain't walking out of there thinking I'm scamming them. They're walking out of there like, yo, that's a good thing. She cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you want to start to build your business and build rapport with people. Like, listen, I genuinely care about you. I genuinely want to help you. And I got something that can help you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it do. Okay, I had you on me. Yeah.
Cool. So last thing before I get out of here. So piquing interest, guys. So what I'm gonna do, let's see. What y'all weekend looking like? Like, what you got planned for the weekend, Sarah Mo? Like, what y'all got going on?
I'm off finally tomorrow. I don't normally get Saturdays off, so.
Okay, so depending on how you feel when you wake up tomorrow, shoot me a text, both of y'all. Shoot me a text just for like a little 15, 20-minute window. We're going to get on individually, right? Like me and you, Mo, at your time, Sarah, when it's cool for you. And let's jump on a Zoom for like 20 minutes, or we're going to just go through straight role playing. Like, I'm just going to keep shooting scenarios, and you're going to keep doing it until it become clockwork. Because practice is perfect. You know, practice is what makes you better, you know? So sometimes what I would even encourage you to do when you're in the shower, when you're driving, when you like on the job site by yourself, like think of scenarios in your head and then think of a way to pique someone's interest using whatever scenario, and keep doing that all day in your mind. Then you're basically preparing yourself. So when you talk to a person and they tell you what their issue is, you already know how to flip it on them. But you got to practice. You know, this thing requires practice. That's just like anything else. You know, just like if we were playing ball, you had to practice your jump shot. You got to practice how to peek. Make sense?
It do.
Because it's not what you do at your job right now. So you got to practice. It's a new skill. And what's great about this, guys, is piquing interest for this. Once you get it, guess what? When you start to, you know, look for clients for whatever your real business you want to pursue in the future, you now know the art of listening and how to pique a client because of the skills you're learning here. You know, I know, Mo, for you do the grooming. Let's say you start to look for clients for the dog grooming. Now you know how to ask certain questions about a person's dog to be able to flip it on them to say, listen, if I can help you save you $15 on what you're paying at your groomer now, and I'll come to you to do it mobile, you know, is that something you'll be interested in? They'll be like, no, that sounds great. Well, here's my phone number. I'm a dog groomer. You know, let's get in contact. The first one's on me. Something like that. But you could basically learn the skills, you know, for business in general. Does that make sense?
It do.
Cool. Go ahead.
Oh, and like I said, when they say great minds think alike, when I read Sarah's post when she was like, let's do about a follow-up. See, I was gonna ask you anyway. It was like, look, I'm ready to get on Facebook and do it live. You know what I'm saying? The presentation, because I was, you know what I'm saying, and I was really preparing myself earlier until I seen her text. I was like, you know what, I am gonna do it. You know, so
yep.
And
for
like
sure,
I said,
nice. Like for you, like I tell y'all on Facebook and stuff, people are more visual and people don't read, right? We like photos and we like videos. So like I say, start like getting used to yourself. Even if you watch, this is what I used to do. I'm telling y'all my secrets. I'm gonna have to kill you, right? But no, for real, I would go on like Brian Bean's page or like Rico McDaniel's page. Anyone who gave me value, I would watch one of their videos, and watch it like 2 or 3 times, write a couple notes, and I'll go on Facebook and say the same shit.
You better believe it. You ain't never lied. I'm telling you, I've ordered something.
You know, I'll go and talk about the exact same thing. But guess what? The people who watch who on my Facebook ain't on Brian Bean, so they don't know what comes from Brian Bean. You know what I'm saying? Now, I look super smart. I'm talking about some stuff people are interested in. And guess what? Because it's me, it got my spin on it. Gotcha. You know, and I'm now being able. That's how I started with Facebook Lives. I would just go on like Brian Bean stuff, look for something that like kind of touched me or hit me, and then I would say, you know what? Let me just go do this on my Facebook Live. Then after doing it so much, I started to get into my own, and now I can just come off the top. You know, but you have to start somewhere, and why not start copying the right cats, right?
Yes, you better believe it.
Results.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
They always teach us at the trainings. They're like, listen, the only place cheating and I'm not talking about like on your girl or nothing, but like the only time cheating is wrong is in school. In life, you supposed to cheat, which basically means you supposed to find someone and copy off of their paper. You supposed to find someone who winning and copy what they doing. Only in school they teach you that ain't, and really in school, copying is the smart way because like you just freaking get the answers from someone who know the answers. That's what we do in mentorship, right? You find someone who has the answers and then you just get them from them instead of having to figure it out on your own.
Indeed.
So like start putting content out. You know, just even to keep them short and sweet. Just talk about something you learned because that's the key. You wanna do something first. You wanna learn it, and then you wanna teach it. That's the cycle. Do, learn, teach. You know, as you learn stuff, don't keep it to yourself. Go teach someone else about it. You know what I'm saying? But I think our Zoom is gonna end, guys. I think our Zoom is gonna end. You know, I'm on the free version. I think I got less than a minute, but I'm gonna post this recording. I hope this helps. But what I will do, Sarah, because I know we didn't get to it because we kind of talked about piquing interest, but I don't want to keep y'all on here all night. I'm going to do a video on following up tomorrow, and I'll just post it in the group for y'all, okay? So thanks so much for jumping on. I hope this helped. Y'all can text me personally if you got more questions, or hit me in the group chat because the questions you have, everyone has. But no one wants to ask those questions. So y'all, you know, you got to start. You lead the pack and ask away.
For sure.
All right, so y'all enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Don't get too turned up. I'm going to drink some wine though, right? But I'm about to kick back and chill for a little bit. But y'all enjoy the rest of the night, and we'll talk tomorrow, okay?
That'll work.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Peace.